Every week, the Payne family cuts straight to the real financial story.
The one question, Bob, everyone's asking is, are we in an artificial intelligence bubble? You've been through boom and bust. What do you think?
No hype, no myths. Just what actually matters to your money.
Does feel very similar to what we experienced in the 90s. Where are we, though? Are we in 1995, 1997, 1999?
Listen to the Pain Points of Wealth on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
The Dominic Carter Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Anti-Semitic gasoline on an open fire. That's just day one of Mamdani. Dominic Carter here with you for the next 2 hours. The number to reach us live right now, 800-848-9222. 800-848-9222. Like father, like son. Like father, like son. Did you folks know that apparently Mamdani's father was not seen putting his hand on his chest for the Star-Spangled Banner at the inauguration? Daddy is clearly on the record is hating Israel, the Columbia University professor, and his wife, Mommy, the movie director. Day one, just day one from Mamdani, Israel is accusing Mamdani of pouring, I'm going to say it again, anti-Semitic gasoline on an open fire after the far-left socialist spent his first day in office removing city policies that support Israel. And a tweet from Israel's foreign ministry. Quote, on his first day as New York City mayor, Mamdani shows his true face. He scraps the IHRA definition of anti-Semitism and lifts restrictions on boycotting Israel. Quote, this isn't leadership. Again, it's anti-Semitic gasoline on an open fire. That's just day one. Day one. And he told us yesterday that he won as a socialist. He's going to govern as a socialist. That's one big middle finger to all of us. Sure, he says it with a smile, but make no mistake about it, it is one big middle finger to all of us. So, I spent a little time thinking about something, folks, and I'm really trying to understand this. The public advocate, Jumaane Williams, at the swearing in yesterday, he said something that, as far as I'm concerned, is racially polarizing. I don't get it. I'm just, maybe my day in terms of understanding this stuff is over. I really don't get it. So I recall growing up for the most part, in the early 70s in the Bronx. And I was racking my brain today trying to remember because I don't recall an environment where it was race. I recall, this is what I remember, you work hard to get ahead. And again, I was a young man, but that was my interpretation. That was the way I saw things. It wasn't so much this focus on race. This is the early 1970s. Myself, a young black child growing up in the Bronx, mentally ill mother, no father, being raised by my grandmother. I don't recall all of this emphasis on race, and it's sickening. So Jumaane Williams gets up at the inauguration, and maybe you folks can help me understand what he's talking about here. I think I have an idea, but it's not good to think. I just don't understand what he was trying to do yesterday. Listen to the public advocate of New York City, Jumaane Williams, speaking at the inauguration.
And I got to take a second to say something to so many young people who are out there. And I'm going to say it to one person, who's waited 49 years to hear it. Little black boy, you were worth it. And you always were. And without any titles, you were enough. You were always enough. And you deserve to accept love, and you deserve to be protected. And I'm honored to be here to help create a city that's worthy of that for you. And I'm so proud of you. So just hold on. We're going to be all right. We're going to be all right. I'm so proud of you.
It's all right. Let's go. Let's be all right.
So maybe you folks can help me, because was he talking about himself? Was he talking about, he said one individual in the crowd? But, you know, as a kid in particular, a black kid, and I think you folks know where I'm coming from, this is the greatest country on earth. And I am telling you, you may say I'm nuts, but I have never directly experienced racism. I've experienced a country that opened numerous doors for me to succeed, to get to where I am with you folks now. I don't understand the tears. Was he saying that all his life he felt inferior? I don't understand. What was the point and what was the emotion about? Was he playing the race card? Blacks are excluded all the time. The same old nonsense that doesn't help anyone, and all it does is put a crutch on people of color for life. I was always taught by my grandmother, and I'm going to be honest with you folks, she would say to me, as a young black man, you will always have to work twice as hard as anyone else. And I do agree with that, and I do work hard. But I just realized that meeting the owners of this network and interacting with them, I don't work as hard as I thought I do after seeing what they do, Margot Catsimatidis and John Catsimatidis. So we're going to get back to what is apparently New York's anti-Semitic mayor. What does Sarah Palin say? Pigs on lipstick on a pig, right? I mean, you can't put lipstick on a pig, something to the effect. The man is anti-Semitic. There's no doubt about it. Like daddy, like son. But something else I want to focus on. We're going to get to your phone calls in just 1 second. We're going to get there in just 1 second. So, CNN, Andy Cohen, Bravo channel, always there with Anderson Cooper. A clear illustration. This man has put his foot in his mouth almost every year. Why would CNN continue to allow this? So clearly, Andy Cohen had one too many. And I want you to listen to his tirade, if you will, on live television against the then. So Eric Adams had just hours left in office, or, you know, it was coming to a close. Listen to what Andy Cohen had to say, and then I'll tell you former Mayor Eric Adams' reaction.
I like to say, watching the final moments of Mayor Adams' chaotic.
Or are we going on a de Blasio style?
No.
Oh no.
I just want to say.
Don't.
I mean, he got his pardon.
I'm out.
Andy,
we gotta cut you off.
No,
Andy, I've seen this happen.
No, I'm just saying.
No.
Great, you got your pardon. Go off into
after
the
midnight.
sunset. We'll fiddle with what we have, with what you've left us
with. The thing with you and mayors, man.
Go dance away. We'll see you at all the parties.
He can't help himself.
You've partied your way way through.
We will see you at Zero Bond.
And you've got, we'll see you at
12:35. Don't be late, Eric.
Clubs.
Wow.
We'll see you there.
Yeah.
You got the pardon.
Okay, is this how we're entering 20?
No, I just want to say.
No.
Goodbye, Mayor Adams.
He did a good job with the rats, right?
You did it. You did it, didn't you? Honestly.
Wow.
But I will say this. I think he maybe dented the rat population.
Oh, no.
No, I think he helped with the rats.
That was the Ricky Van Veen newsletter.
I love how quickly you turn.
No, I will say.
He did do great work on rats.
He got rid of some of the rats.
No, the rat population has.
Yes.
A lot of it has to do with
Isn't that a metaphor of sorts?
So, CNN, why would you allow this man consistently, year after year, to be on live television doing this? Adams responded to it by saying AA, Alcohol Anonymous. And it's the right answer. This man is a perfect illustration of why you should never be allowed to drink and be on television, certainly not on live television. Let's start with your telephone calls. Dominic Carter here with you on this Friday. Angie, line 5, Long Island. What's on your mind, Angie?
Hi, Dominic. I'm off this week. I have plenty of time to call you. I'm happy.
Wonderful.
I want to talk about the black-white thing because I just was listening to you as you opened up your show. You know, I'm really tired because as a white woman, I've always worked in mostly black areas. I've been called everything from a white devil, you're here for a paycheck, you and your weave. I mean, because I have long hair. I've heard it all. The other day I was on the bus and there was a young black mom. She happened to be black, and I had to sit there and listen to her threaten to punch her 2-year-old's front teeth out if he spoke to her again. Like she actually said that to her baby. So I looked at her and I said, maybe that's not the best thing to say to a child. You know, I'm actually a mandated reporter. You shouldn't say that. And of course she's like, shut the F up, you white bee. You know, it's always black, white. But as a white girl, I grew up in a black area and I also experienced discrimination, but we're not allowed to talk about that. You're not allowed to be proud to be white.
Right. You're privileged. You've been given $8 million in cash. You didn't have to pay taxes on it. That's literally what certain people think.
And I'm there for their kids. You know, a lot of them are migrants now. Living in hotels. I have to go there and check on them. It's just sickening and it's just sad. You're not allowed to be proud of anything. It's just not. It's not fair.
I don't get it. I don't understand. And Angie, thank you for the
scapegoat. It's a scapegoat. It's a cop out and it's a scapegoat. And you know, I've had parents come up to my school. They don't show up for parent-teacher conferences, but they'll show up for the food if they're giving away food and stuff like that.
It's so
just
sad.
So bad.
Angie, I got to take a break. Thank you for the wonderful call. You heard Angie. You put the food out, they'll be there. No food, they're not going to show up for interest in their kids. Time for a break. We are coming right back.
The Dominic Carter Show. Entertaining and informative. On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Zohran Mamdani will be the first Muslim mayor of our great city. He will be our first immigrant mayor in over a century. And he will be the youngest mayor of New York City in generations. But most importantly, Zohran will be a mayor for all of us. With that.
Well, AOC, I don't even need to say anymore. Now, I've been saying for 24 hours, you know, the lady that likes the private jets. It's amazing. Those people out there, they were so lost. I feel bad for them. They really, really believe that change is coming to the degree of free. The only thing that's coming is you're going to give them donations and AOC will be on more private jets. Her, Bernie Sanders, and maybe Mamdani, but he's the mayor now, so you know he's being watched, so they have to be careful what he does. Let's go to line 1, Howard in New York. What's on your mind, Howard?
Hi, Dominic. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to the Council teammates. I'm going to say this much. That speech was very scary. That reminds me of the 1930s when they talk about plexism, not individualism. They're talking about taking away ownership. This is scary. That's the road to communism. It reminds me of Karl Marx.
That's what they're talking about. You want to sell your house? You want to sell your house, Howard, or whatever? Oh, no. Under Mamdani, the city wants the right of first refusal. It's scary times. Scary times. And the question becomes, Howard, when does he give up his rent stabilized apartment? Has he? Will he? Oh, but he's a man of the people. Go ahead, Howard.
What I'm saying is that this is scary because we're heading to, there's no solution to this. I can't believe how the country is voting. Look at what's happening in Ohio. We're heading for a civil war. I don't want to say this, but my parents have said, never again will that ever happen with the Jews. And it's scary. I'm old enough to remember this. The problem is when I went to school, we were taught all of this stuff. We were taught history. We understood that socialism doesn't work. We remember what happened in Europe. And we're repeating it again.
Key word. You said you were taught. These people coming out of school today, they're not taught anything. All they know is they want to be a millionaire. They watch Kim Kardashian and her former husband Kanye on. How come I don't have the money they have? They don't look at how hard they work. All they know is, thank you for the call, Howard. All they know is that they want to get to the top. Let's go to Jean, Mount Vernon, line 5. What's on your mind, young lady?
Yeah, hi, Dominic. Two things. One was that former Mayor Adams was invited by the new mayor to attend his inauguration yesterday, and he actually did go. People weren't quite sure if he would go, but he did go, and he was booed by the crowd.
It was only for a second, but he was still booed. Yes.
Yes, he was. And the other thing is that before he left office, former Mayor Eric Adams made a lot of new recommendations that
not recommendations, we did this at the top of the show already. These were executive orders. And the first thing that Mamdani did, many executive orders to protect the Jewish community. And the first thing Mamdani did was he said, out they go. That's the first thing that he did. And then when he was cold busted, he said, my bad, we'll bring back the office of anti-Semitism. He only said this after he was cold busted. The man is anti-Semitic, like daddy, like son. 800-848-9222. We are coming right back.
The Dominic Carter Show. Entertaining and informative. On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
And again, I want to wish Catherine Trunk, one of our great listeners, a very, very happy birthday. Catherine works, takes care of her 96-year-old mom. And Catherine, I hope that you had a great birthday and was positive on your special day, her day, December 31st. That's Catherine's birthday. If you happen to follow her on Twitter, do me a favor and say happy birthday, because she really is a wonderful person. So I'm looking at my Twitter, at my ex, Debbie Lebedo. Debbie just posted something that is so true. Actually, two things. Debbie says, at Dominic TV, those who supported and cheered for this communist mayor in New York City proves the breakdown of family and the education system. The foundations that built generations. We need to pray. You know what, Debbie? You are dead on accurate. It's clearly a breakdown of the education system. Because those people that were out there, no disrespect to them, they know absolutely nothing. They're following a con man and gladly doing so. This mayor is a con man. There's no other way to say. I cannot believe that he is the mayor. But that's another story for another day. I know now exactly why he's the mayor. Another story for another day. Debbie goes on to also say, I cannot understand. I believe she's talking about racism here. Since we had a black president, Obama, Oprah Winfrey, Beyonce, Hakeem Jeffries, Ben Carson, Letitia James, Fonnie Willis, the district attorney of Fulton County, Georgia, that came that close to getting Trump and then watched it all blow up in her face. That Fonnie Willis and the rest. We all, Debbie capitalizes the word all, have the opportunity to succeed through responsibility and applying yourself. It's a left-wing hoax, a scam. So when Debbie Lobato and her husband had me at their home, it wasn't like, oh, an African American is here. We had a common thing connecting us, and you know what it was? We're all American. When we had something else that connected all of us. This lady can cook. And I enjoyed the food. I enjoyed her husband. I enjoyed Pastor, the first lady. I enjoyed Lou. I had a great time. If you notice, folks, this happened this summer, and I'm still talking about it. It wasn't any conversation, not once, of race, of excuses, of anything, except for a group of Americans collectively getting together and having a good time. What happened to that? What happened to that? So as it relates to Mamdani, I want you to listen to this before we go back to your telephone calls. This man on social media, and folks, do me a favor. If you don't hear anything else that I say over the course of the next hour and a half, listen carefully to what this man is stating, because he is accurate.
I would like to formally congratulate every white liberal living in New York City that voted for their very own destruction. You got it. You wanted it. It's here. Jan 1st, sworn in. Now, y'all thought y'all were about to get Zohran Mamdani, your friendly neighborhood democratic socialist for the people. What y'all about to realize real soon is that you got Zohran Mamdani. That's right. Zohran Mamdani. That's him right there. And let's just say he's coming with a different energy, a different agenda. Let's just say that the people he represents, well, it's not the people who got him in. At least not all of them. If you catch what I'm throwing. There's people who definitely wanted him in, but y'all ain't a part of the plan. Oh, and for anybody who thinks I'm being quote unquote Islamophobic by labeling the man Zohran Mamdani, the man literally swore into office with 2 Qurans or Qurans or however it is you want to say it. 2 of them.
So that's the situation. 800-848-9222. I'm not going to say the devil is in City Hall, but there's no way this man should even be allowed in the building. City Hall. Shouldn't happen. But anybody that's being honest, we know why he's in the building. We know how he got there. Because this campaign came down to 2 against 1. And I'm not saying Cuomo's a saint. What happened with the nursing home scandal and the sexual harassment, very serious issues. But I would rather have Cuomo any day than to have Mamdani. And we now know, based on the debates, there was a question of why is one candidate only going after Cuomo? We now know why. If you pick up the Wall Street Journal and see an interview that one of the candidates just did, this candidate praised Mamdani more than his own press secretary would. This candidate defended Mamdani on all of his hires. This contest was 2 against 1. It wasn't a fair fight. Now, yes, politics is not fair. But it was Mamdani and the other candidate against Cuomo. Oh, Dominic, you're not accurate. Pick up the Wall Street Journal and read it for yourself. The other candidate literally sounds like Mamdani's press secretary. This is just 24 hours ago. I have never seen anything like this before in my life, where a candidate loses, gets only 7% of the vote, and is in the Wall Street Journal praising Mamdani less than 24 hours ago on every front that you can imagine. Sounds like his cheerleader, praises Mamdani so much, it makes me wonder if that's his wife. That's how much he's praising Mamdani in the Wall Street Journal. So I don't know if he's lost a step, senility. I don't know what's going on, but something is rotten in Denmark, and the truth always has a way of coming to light, because you check bank accounts. There are many ways to check and see what actually happened. Don't believe me? Pick up the Wall Street Journal and reach your own conclusion. The third candidate in the race was literally kissing Mamdani's ass. I can't be any more clear than that. Less than 24 hours ago. Wendy, line 1, Long Island. What's on your mind, Wendy?
Well, I was going to comment on something else, but let me just say about Curtis. Maybe he's getting money from the same place that Candace Owens and Tucker and Steve Bannon is getting money from. But we could move on.
Yeah, I'm not going to mention that candidate. I'm just going to say, Wendy, when I saw the Wall Street Journal last night and the interview
you make an important point, really, and we should all think
Wendy,
about that.
I recommend every person in the tri-state area pick up the Wall Street Journal and read the wonderful quotes from that candidate about Mamdani, a man that is anti-Semitic. Something is rotten in Denmark. We are at the stage now with checking accounts of all the parties involved, not just the candidates, need to be checked. Something is wrong. Remember, I told you that. Something is wrong. On the day that he's sworn in, you're talking to the Wall Street Journal praising him better than his own press secretary would? Something is terribly wrong. Go ahead, Wendy.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right. But, more will be revealed. I wanted to, yesterday you had a caller who couldn't adequately explain why it was a problem that Mamdani was a Democrat socialist. So I wanted to help articulate her point. And the problem is that he called the Democratic Socialist caucus with the Democrats. That means that they're part of the Democrats. They accept them. Until now, they're not their own third party. So like all of these DCA people run under the Democrat banner. But the thing that's really scary is that eventually they could separate because the Democrats really are about to explode. And if that does happen, the Democrat Socialists could turn out to either take over the Democrats or just be their own party. And just take a look. Why is it, do you think, that it is that the Democrat Socialists can't stand Israel and they don't like America? And you have to really think about that because, in my opinion, I think that those two countries are the only ones that are preventing us from becoming a global government, if you will. And if we could just get rid of the way America runs and get rid of Israel, every other country is pretty much kind of like socialist and it really have the same democratic values that Israel and America have. That's what I have to say.
Well, Wendy, you're making some very interesting points. I'm still stuck on what I just said, but the socialists, see, my thing is at least Mamdani was honest with us. He told us up front, I don't care about you. All I care about is the Palestinian community. I care about, the last thing in the world that I care about is Israel. He told us up front where he's coming from. Now, he gave us a song and a dance about, I'm going to deliver this and those people, I'm thinking again about, Wendy, what Debbie Lebedo just said. Looking into those faces, it's clearly a breakdown of the family structure and it's a breakdown of the education system. Because, listen, I'm always going to advocate for people voting. But if you're going to fall for that nonsense, and I'm telling you, Wendy, I'm just going to say this one more time. It's time to start checking the checking accounts of the candidates, of the wives, of associates. Something is terribly wrong. It was clear on the debate stage every time. Cuomo's a big boy and can defend himself. He was outmanned and outgunned. It was 2 against 1. Mamdani had a front man doing all of his work. Now it all makes sense. And on the day that Mamdani is sworn in, you sit down with the Wall Street Journal and profusely praise Mamdani. He praised his gay appointments, everything you can think of. He praised him. So now the question becomes, where's the money? Who got what? And where's the money? That's the issue now. Okay, I can't sugarcoat it anymore. All right, I tried my best. I can't sugarcoat it anymore. I've been doing this a long time. Something is terribly rotten in Denmark. That's the best way I can say it. You all, folks, you all know exactly what I'm saying to you. Wendy, thank you for that wonderful call. Let's see here. Let's go to Judith in Brooklyn, line 3. Judith, what's on your mind?
Hi, Dominic. Thanks for taking the call. And I think it was Wendy, I'm not sure, that brought up a very good question like 2 days ago or something. And I think it went like this, does anyone even know when you put your hand on the Quran, what is in that Quran that you're swearing on? So I did a little bit of homework.
Go ahead.
Yes. So I did a little bit of homework. I'm not going to go through everything right now. But to Debbie Lovato's point, there's an expression called ignorance is bliss. But I say ignorance is also very dangerous. So here I'm looking into it. And just for everything, I am so against anybody being allowed to swear on the Quran here in the United States, because it should not be allowed. All right. This is like promoting the Quran against the Bible, which is un-American, giving up it's like giving up Judeo-Christian values this country was founded on. When you find out what's in the Quran, their values are the exact opposite, because in this Quran, you have what they call dhimmis, which is derogatory categories. All non-Muslims, that's you and me, okay? All of them.
Well, wait, Judith, wait, hold on. Well, I'll let you continue, but I do need to take a break, and then I need to get to some of the other calls. So just stand by for a second, and you can give us this update on the Quran. Time for a break. We are coming right back.
The Dominic Carter Show. Entertaining and informative. On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
The Tunnel to Towers Foundation final thoughts of the day. I'm telling you, folks, pick up the Wall Street Journal, go online, and just read the article. And to all of you that from your heart of hearts supported that candidate, read the article and then tell me. You called up, you attack me. If you were played, something is rotten terribly in Denmark. I'm not going to pull punches anymore. Somebody got paid. It's that simple. This race for mayor was 2 against 1. All you had to do was look at any debate. It was 2 against 1. Mamdani had a lead blocker the entire time up against Cuomo. Let's go back to Judith. Judith, it's got to be quick because I got to get to other calls. Go right ahead.
Okay, thank you. I just simply wanted to point out how the Quran is absolutely outrageous to be allowed to be used anywhere in the United States of America, because the Quran, when you look into it, which that lady said, do you even know what is in it? I did look a little bit into it. It is appalling. It is opposite of whatever we stand for here in the United States of America. It gives the wrong perception. Okay, it promotes Quran, which should not be. And you should know something. When you listen to Mamdani and he said, he's going to raise taxes, that is part of Sharia law, people, because it's called jizya, which is a special tax, okay? And he's going to do more. They are slowly going to implement this Sharia stuff, which you don't even know, because ignorance is not bliss. It's dangerous. You really have to find it. I found out, you know what?
I got to wrap it up, Judith. I'm sorry. I'll talk to you again.
Dominic,
quickly,
Dominic,
Judith.
I found out there were like 20 different versions of Quran, and I have a few names I'm not going to mention, but just go think how confusing the whole thing is. Very, very dangerous, and that guy you played.
The four wives and all that stuff. Judith, thank you for the call. Let's go to Liz, line 1 in Florida. Liz, what's on your mind?
Hi, Dominic. Last night I had mentioned that there's some ways to de-stress, and then Sherman said, well, that's not going to change the situation. And he's right. It's not going to change this situation, but it'll help you heal. But what will change the situation? Let your voice be heard. There's power in numbers. Millions of listeners are listening. Call Kathy Hochul. Make that call. Send that email. Instead of doing nothing and being upset about it, do something. If she gets millions, and all of us are here, we're millions of people listening to you. If she gets millions of letters and emails and calls, she might say, well, wait a minute, my constituents, I have to run for office. Maybe she'll do something. And she doesn't need Mamdani. She really doesn't. If she just lets him go, most people will be happy. But we have to do something. And that's what I'm saying. It's just
but right now, in terms of that relationship, he's the governor and she's a mayor of a small city. Right now, he has all the power because she's afraid that if he goes against her, there goes her reelection campaign.
True, but if she sees all of these millions of letters, millions of phone calls, millions of emails, she might say, wait a second, something's wrong here.
True.
I need to do something.
I agree with you.
You never know until you do it.
You never know. You're right. Be involved in your government. Liz, thank you for the great call. Tony, line 4, White Plains. What's on your mind, Tony?
Hello, Dominic. I think your recent explanation of the Sliwa election answered most of my question. But basically, the question that's been gnawing at me was in the beginning of the election, Sliwa said who he was bringing in as a political advisor and all the top names in New York administration were going to be in his cabinet to run the city, get us out of trouble. And what happened then is he never mentioned anything. If he had jumped on Mamdani 24/7 and kept repeating the names of all the brilliant the people he was going to bring into the administration to help New York, do you think possibly he could have won the election?
The candidate you're referring to didn't even have a campaign consultant. I never wanted to say these types of things. It was a bootleg campaign to begin with, start to end. Something is rotten in Denmark. I'm going to be honest, Tony. When he was still here, there were signs of senility that many of us started to see, and we tried to look the other way. I don't know if that's what happened. Somebody got some checks somewhere, because Mamdani had a wingman in this race, and the wingman did his job quite well. He trounced Cuomo, he kept the attack on Cuomo, and thus we're stuck with this disaster for the next 4 years. America's heroes need your help. Donate $11 a month to the Tunnel to Towers Foundation at T2T.org.
Thanks for listening to The Dominic Carter Show. You can hear The Dominic Carter Show weekdays at 3 p.m. and Monday through Thursday at midnight and Sunday starting at 11 p.m. on 77 WABC. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode, so you never have to wonder,
what the heck is going on here?
Every week, the Payne family cuts straight to the real financial story.
The one question, Bob, everyone's asking is, are we in an artificial intelligence bubble? You've been through boom and bust. What do you think?
No hype, no myths. Just what actually matters to your money.
Does feel very similar to what we experienced in the 90s. Where are we, though? Are we in 1995, 1997, 1999?
Listen to the Pain Points of Wealth on the Red Apple Podcast Network.